and welcome to another Honkai Star Rail video. Alright, so I got another Memory of Chaos video for you guys today. And for this season of Memory of Chaos, the Turbulence is all about Trotters. Every cycle they're going to summon 2, and when you kill them, they will deal a set amount of damage to all the elite mobs. So obviously this season's focus is going to be all about killing the Trotters. Alright, going over my teams for the first half, I have my Acheron team, featuring Acheron, Fugue, who I decided to try out in a non-break team, just as the Nihility and debuffer for Acheron. Bronya making a return as well, and Fu Xuan as our tank and sustainer. On the second half, I decided to bring back an old friend. We used the Imbibitor Lunane team, featuring Imbibitor Lunane, Ting Yang, Sparkle as our support, or second support, and Gallagher as our healer and sustainer. Alright, and as usual, I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay and commentary. Alright, so we start off with Bronya's technique, Fu Xuan's technique, Fugue's technique, and then we initiate the fight with Acheron's technique. There are the 2 Trotters that spawn at the beginning of every cycle. Here we're going to use Fugue's skill. Apparently on Acheron, that is a misplay. I'm supposed to be using it on Fu Xuan instead because she has faster speeds. And Acheron honestly can already weakness break the enemies with her ultimate. Whereas Fu Xuan, none of them are weak to Quantum. So that was a misplay on my part already right off the beginning. So whoops, my bad. Anyways, here's Acheron's ultimate, dealing around 600k. And as you can see here, the Trotters, they deal a lot of damage. That's like about almost 300k per pop for each of the Trotters. So in some cases, if your DPS characters aren't fully built all the way up, or if you don't have any of the really broken meta characters, they'll actually be doing more damage than your entire team could be outputting. So you definitely want to be focusing down the Trotters whenever you can, whether it's through AoE or some sort of splash damage. Alright, here we're going to push up Acheron. And we're just going to wait until the next cycle. We're going to refresh the Matrix here. Pop the ultimate. And here, if I had actually buffed Fu Xuan, I would have gotten a Crimson Knot stack there. And Acheron would have her ult up already. So yeah, that initial play actually kind of screwed me a little bit. But, I mean, all in all, we should be able to clear off this cycle before the end of this particular cycle. I used the basic there on Bronya because I knew she'll get another turn. I checked the action bar earlier to see if she would have another turn thanks to her advance forward. And honestly, we have enough damage even if we didn't. I don't think it kills right here. We have a little bit of HP to go. So here I decide to not use the skill, save some skill points. We're going to push up Acheron here for Bronya. And then we go for the skill here and we clear out the first wave just before the cycle ends. Alright, on to the second wave. Here we're going to push up Acheron. Pop the Bronya ult. And then now we will use Acheron's ultimate because I don't want to waste any Crimson Knot stacks. We get 2 when we use our skill, so we're going to use the ultimate here. It's going to clear out the 2 Trotters, and as you can see here, they do quite a bit of damage. Here I'm deciding whether I should skill or basic. We only have 1 skill point left. I decided to use the skill, this time correctly, on Fu Xuan and not Acheron. And the Matrix doesn't seem like it needs to be refreshed, so what do you call it? Fu Xuan will be able to generate that extra skill point for us here. I target Svarog. As for the Terror Grip mechanic on that wolf mob there, you basically just have to hit him. Oh, also, what do you call it? There's Fugue's ultimate. It's very crucial that I used it here. I think I end up popping Acheron's ultimate too, yeah. I did not want the robotic arm getting a turn and potentially stealing or capturing one of my allies. Usually I would have either Fugue or Fu Xuan's ultimate saved up in order to weakness break that robotic arm from Svarog. As you can see, the Matrix is about to disappear, so we have to refresh it. So I'm not able to use Bronya's skill here. I was debating it because I do have E2 Bronya, and there is a 50% chance to get a skill point, but I didn't really want to gamble on that, so I decided we're just going to basic here and pass the turn on the Fu Xuan to refresh the Matrix. Here we pop Bronya's ultimate. Now we will push up Acheron. And pop her ultimate. Clearing out the 2 Trotters, and this should do quite a bit of damage as well. We have Svarog down to 31% HP, and he is the only mob besides the robotic army will spawn here. Maybe not quite yet. We're going to push up Acheron once again. Here I decide to probably... Nah, I'm not going to use the skill here because we don't have enough skill points and Bronya's turn is coming up. Okay, so it's a bit unfortunate here. He spawns the... We did get Fu Xuan's ultimate though. That's one upside. So we can get some break bar damage onto the arm. But unfortunately it captures Bronya. Luckily Fu Xuan takes the turn right here and we can just immediately break Bronya out. So very fortunate that I got Fu Xuan's ultimate up there in time. It actually probably saved this run. Here I think I skill because I wanted to generate enough energy for Fugue's ultimate. I don't think I actually ended up getting Fugue's ultimate up, so it's a bit unfortunate. I decided to buff Acheron here because there's no point in buffing Fu Xuan because she's not going to be able to take a turn before the cycle ends here. And I wanted to finish off Svarog within this cycle. So we're going to pop the skill into the ultimate. And with the extra help from the Trotters, this should be enough damage to finish off the boss. And there you go, just enough. That's the first half. On to the second half, 2 Ting Young techniques, followed by Sparkle technique. And then we initiate the fight with Imbibitor Lunane's technique. This half was quite annoying. It was not only about dealing enough damage, but rather surviving. The last boss, the Swarm Disaster boss, he hits really hard, especially with all the extra bugs or swarm bugs that he spawns in. The damage really does add up, and since we're not running a shielder or a preservation character, my characters could get bursted down very easily, especially when it comes to Lunane and Ting Young. Those two are very squishy compared to your average character, especially Lunane being a destruction character and all in all. What do you call it? Okay, so we're gonna try and focus down the Marastruck General here. Unfortunately, I don't have payload with me, so we couldn't dispel like the healing buff that he has on him. So he's going to heal up a little bit here. It's actually not a little bit, it's quite a bit, but there's not much I can do about it. I don't really want to waste all my DPS on these side mobs either. So we end up breaking him for a little bit. Gallagher is just going to basic here. It doesn't matter what mobs. I'm just going to completely ignore the 2 side mobs or adds that he generated. We're going to pop the ultimate here. And weakness breaking. We're actually going to target the general here because it does apply a attack reduction. And this will allow him to deal less damage and potentially heal less as well. He's going to break out the weakness break here shortly, and you'll see he'll heal up quite a bit. We're going to save Ting Young's ultimate here. And we get lucky. If he targeted Lunane here, the run would have been bricked, and I would have had to start over. As you can see, the mobs are already starting to hit really hard, even on the first wave. It gets so bad on the second wave to the point where you'll see, I actually had to prioritize healing with Gallagher than dealing damage with Lunane. But we did end up clearing it, so I don't really regret doing that. Here is Ting Young's ultimate. Onto Lunane, he's buffed up now. This should kill off the Trotter and deal some damage. Okay, there we go. The Trotter killed off the other elite. Now the general only has like a couple bits of HP. And he should be dead when it comes around to Sparkle's turn. Ting Young's just going to smack him for a bit. We're going to push up Lunane. And he's not even going to use an enhanced basic. It's just going to be a regular basic here. Okay, that's the first wave. Onto the second wave, we immediately pop the ultimate, in order to be energy efficient. Actually, probably should have saved the ultimate here for a little bit, because he does spawn in 2 adds here. Yeah, I should have saved the ultimate until the adds came in. That was a small misplay on my part. Alright, we're going to rebuff Lunane here. Buff up Lunane as well with Sparkle. And the strategy here is actually to prioritize the priority goes the ads spawned in by the boss, the little bugs to the side, and then the Trotters, and then finally you hit the boss. The reason I'm hitting the boss there with Gallagher is to apply the attack down so he doesn't hit our team as hard. But the bugs that he spawns in, or the ads, they actually deal quite a bit of damage to the boss himself. Applies a debuff, making him take increased damage. And they also deal a lot of damage to the Trotters on the side, who also deal a lot of damage to the Swarm Disaster boss. So for this half, I would recommend focusing down the ads first, and then the Trotters, and then finally you should be able to take down the boss with all that damage added in. So as you can see here, I actually do prioritize the main boss, but I think that was a slight mistake. I probably should have hit the little, what do you call it, add to the side there. Now, I also noticed that the first initial hits didn't even crit, which is kind of annoying. Like, the first couple of hits to the main target, they all missed their crit. That's pretty rough, honestly. My Lunane has like a 70-something% crit rate, so I expect him to hit the majority of his crits. Here we're trying to select a target. I realized that now that the most important thing is the adds to the side. We're targeting the main target here because I knew the splash damage or the blast damage from the attack would kill off that one mob, or that one add to the side here. Now we gotta try and kill off this Trotter before he tries to escape. He's gonna spawn in more adds. I'll pop Lunane's ultimate here. This will kill off the Trotter. And now we should... I'm gonna focus all my main damage onto... what do you call it? I still keep hitting the boss, which I think is a mistake. I should have been hitting the, what do you call it? The Swarm Disaster bug to the side. That would have honestly made this run probably a little bit faster. Trying to kill off that Trotter to the side as well. We're going to push up Lunane. Pop Gallagher's ultimate. And I believe we're going to debuff the main boss as well. Another triple enhanced basic. We're going to pop Sparkle's ultimate here. That Trotter's trying to run away. I'm trying to save Ting Young's technique here because I want Lunane to use his ultimate first for the most energy efficiency. Trotter dies, Bug dies, deals a lot of damage. Another Trotter dies. As you can see, that's a lot of damage here. A little bit of overkill with the ultimate, honestly, here. Maybe not. It says 2% on the main boss, but in reality, that's still quite a bit of HP. They really buffed up the HP on the Memory of Chaos bosses in the recent patches. Alright, we're going to heal up Ting Young here because she's getting really low. He spawns in 3 of his adds, which means more damage and more targets for me to hit. Lunane's not looking too healthy now, so we are starting to sweat a bit. I believe if I go for the Trotter here, and he dies, deals a good chunk of damage. Lunane is looking like he's in deep trouble, so you know what we do here? Instead of pushing Lunane up, because I know Lunane's going to die to the 5 ticks of Wind Shear here, I push up Gallagher instead to immediately heal Lunane. So right there, as you can see, we have to prioritize surviving the stage rather than trying to DPS as much as possible. Sometimes you just have to adapt to the situation at hand. Debuff the boss again with attack down. He's the what do you call it? The odds actually do multiply, which can be a good or bad thing. In this situation, I think it's actually a good thing for me because that gives me more targets to hit and more damage to deal. Alright, bugs are dead here. Trotter spawns in. We buff up Lunane. I'm going to pop Ting Young's ultimate here onto Lunane. Gonna try to kill off as many of these adds as possible. The more you leave up, the more damage the boss will deal on his ultimate technique, which is coming up. When the boss has that highlighted, like red icon on the action bar, that means he's going to do like his ultimate technique. And the more of these adds that are on the field, he'll deal even more damage to your team. So now that none of them are on the field, he's not going to deal nearly as much damage. Alright, and then now he's going to hit us with his ultimate. Doesn't do that much. If he had like, let's say 2 or 3 of the adds, That probably would have done more than half of my entire team's HP. They're all targeting Lunane again. He's getting low. Once again, I am going to prioritize Gallagher to make sure Lunane doesn't die. So a bit unfortunate that I'm using Sparkle's Advance Forward on a healer rather than a damage dealer. It's quite wasted, but if you don't, unless you want to do the run again with, what do you call it, no deaths on your team, which I don't want to do, so I'll rather just get it all done in one run. We have to prioritize Gallagher there for the heal. Here I'm deciding whether I should use the Enhanced Basic or heal Ting Young with my skill, because Ting Young is very low right now. Even though the single target Enhanced Basic attack does heal, his skill that heals for more, and it also cleanses the Wind Shear debuff on Ting Young. I ultimately decided to just go for the Enhanced Basic here, though, because Ting Young will heal up here. She's going to use a Basic, thanks to Gallagher's ultimate. She will be able to lifesteal up. Alright. Here is Lunane's ultimate on one of the ads. Finally, we are playing correctly and actually targeting the ads rather than the main boss. I should be hitting the ads here, not the main boss, but it is what it is. Alright, now we're going to pop the Ting Young ultimate onto Lunane. And once again, we're going to target the ads. Just going to kill it off. Do some splash damage. We don't quite have the skill points to have Ting Young use her skill, so we're going to just basic here. Then we're going to push up Lunane once again. Alright, now that the boss is almost dead, we will focus him down. He's at 19% HP. With this and that, he's gone. There you go. And with that, we finished MOC within 8 cycles, 22 cycles remaining. Okay, let me go over my characters and their gear. Starting off with Akron, these are her stats. Lycone is her signature Lycone at S1. Trace is all maxed out, but her basic. These are her relics. Eidolons, she's at Eidolon 2. Alright, next is Fugue. These are her stats. Lycone is the Sweaty Lycone at S3. Really wish I had a S5 copy of this, but it is what it is. Traces, this is what I have invested onto her. Definitely needs more work. Once again, I'm just being stingy. I only like to farm traces during the double drop event, and honestly, that doesn't come up as frequently as I like. These are her relics. Eidolons, she's at Eidolon 0. Alright, next is Bronya. These are her stats. Lycone is her signature Lycone, but the battle isn't over at S1. Traces, could use some work as well. Definitely want to max out the skill and potentially the ultimate. And I think the advance forward is pretty solid. There are thresholds or breakpoints where you're able to get in that extra turn before the cycle ends. So we'll see if I want to invest more in her. So far, she's been doing a fairly good job. So especially with the Eidolons I have on her that you'll see shortly here. So probably worth it. Anyways, these are her relics. I couldn't really fit a 4-piece set on her, so I just decided to go for a 2-piece speed set and then a couple of broken pieces that had a lot of speed and crit damage on them. And the broken keel set is not active, by the way, because I didn't have enough effect resist on her, unfortunately. Alright, as for Eidolon, she's actually at Eidolon 3. Alright, last on the first half is Fu Xuan. These are her stats. Lycone is Trend of the Universal Market at S4. Traces. Could use a little bit more investment as well, but I'm probably not going to put the investment into her anymore. She functions perfectly fine. These are her relics. Actually, these aren't her normal relics. Usually I have her on a 2-piece HP and a 2-piece speed set, but I think I was just too lazy to change it out. I had this build on her for specifically for pure fiction, so she would do a little bit of extra chip damage, but I just was too lazy to change it out. Eidolon, she's at Eidolon 0. Alright, on to Imbibitor Lunane. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Anyways, these are his stats. Lycone is on the fall of an Eon at S5. Traces are completely maxed out. These are his relics. His relics are actually cracked as hell, especially this piece right here. I'm definitely not going to reroll this, that's for sure. His Planar Sphere and Link Rope, however, they could be better. They're both missing crit damage as one of the substats, so that is a bit unfortunate. That's why his crit damage is lower than my traditional crit DPS would like to be. As for Eidolons, he's at Eidolon 2. Alright, on to Ting Young, not Fugue, the regular Ting Young. I just realized I ran both Ting Youngs on this season of Memory of Chaos. That's pretty funny. Not on the same team, but on 2 different teams. Anyways, these are her stats. Lycone is Dance 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 at S4. Traces. Relics, 4-piece Musketeer and Broken Keel. I've been farming the... It's not the newest domain anymore, but... Or a Cavern of Corrosion, whatever you want to call it. But it's the one that... It's the Sunday domain, essentially. It's the one that gives speed and then crit rate buff. That is currently the best in slot 4-piece set on Ting Young. Even better than Musketeer. But I have such good Musketeer pieces with such high speed that I'm okay with this for now. But eventually... I do want to farm a better piece for both Ting Young and Sparkle and Bronya at some point. That domain, I mean, and it just being a 2-piece speed set in general can be used on any support that you want to speed tune properly. So that domain has a lot of value. Not to mention the second set is also a 2-piece crit rate set. So that can be used as any 2-piece set on your damage dealers as well. Eidolons, even after playing the game for now almost 2 years, still at Eidolon 5. Give me that last copy of Ting Young, please. Alright, next is Sparkle, the meme that everyone makes fun of now because apparently Sunday is just a better version of her in every way. Feels bad. Anyways, these are her stats. Lycone is But the Battle Isn't Over at S1. These are her traces. Could use a little bit more investment, I guess. And for her relics, I do have her on the new 4-piece set, the Sacrodose set, if that's how you pronounce it. And some of the pieces are pretty decent, but I still have to continue grind that domain, otherwise we won't be able to get the best gear for her, or Bronya, or Ting Young. Like I said, the domain in general is just a very good and Trailblaze efficient domain. Eidolon, she's at Eidolon 0. Alright, last but not least is Gallagher. These are his stats. Lycone is Quid Pro Quo at S5, and this synergizes very well with this team. Everyone, or all the other allies, have some sort of energy regeneration, or need the energy in order to use their ultimate, unlike when you run him specifically with someone that doesn't need energy, like Fei Xiao or Acheron. These are his traces. At some point, I probably will put more investment into him for the extra effect resist, HP, probably max out his talent. I mean, let's be real here. An E6 Gallagher is pretty much an equivalent to a 5-star character. These are his relics, 2-piece speed, 2-piece break effect set. Usually I do have him on a different planar sphere. I have him on this set, but since he's not being used currently on a break effect team, I figured I'd give him a broken keel set instead. Not only will this give him more effect resist, but it'll also boost the damage of Lunane, as well as giving Sparkle some crit damage as well, so that'll also boost the damage of Lunane as well. And I happen to have 2 pieces that had break effect in it for some reason, so I figured I'd just put it on him for this specific team. As for Eidolons, he's at Eidolon 6. Okay, well that's going to be it for this Honkai Star Rail video, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and peace.
One 君雷霆的去向，我要。